remind everybody you have 3 minutes and abide by the rules of civility. Christopher Cole.
Good morning, all. My name is Christopher Cole, first Vice Chair of Pima County Libertarian Party. The purpose of government is to protect the rights of the people. And by their actions, politicians seem to think that their purpose is to steal the rights of the people and to steal the wealth of the people. Pima County does not manage its money very well. I'm talking about the money, of course, that you confiscate from the taxpayers. How many thousands, if not millions of dollars are you going to approve on the consent calendar today? You know, it would be nice if you put right next to the item your legal authority for spending that money. Because there are some people, myself I am one of them, that say you probably don't have the authority to spend that money on that project, that charity, that whatever it is. It would be nice if you could justify legally the money that you spend, at least the perception is the money that you spend so recklessly. Pima County is extremely poor. Pima County can afford to spend money on infrastructure. Pima County can afford to spend money on health and safety. It cannot afford to spend money on crony politics. It cannot afford to spend money on, the 1% want their recreation subsidized. Pima County cannot support that. It doesn't have the money for that. The 5 of you need to start managing the money you take from the people a lot better than you do now. And the first step on that is make a legal justification for the money that you spend. The second step, something I brought up before, put everything in absolute priorities. And put, like say, the Pima County Sheriff's Department first, the Pima County Health Department second, and so forth and so on. And show to the people that you have their priorities in mind and you have their priorities straight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, Senator Cajero Bedford, I forgot to recognize you. Thanks for coming. I know 3 of you that are here on the one item we've continued till the 15th of December. You're welcome to, we've continued the item. You could speak at the time we reach the item. If not, we will see you on the 15th if you don't wish to speak today.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Keith Von Honigan.
Good morning. My name is Keith Van Honigan. I'm a Pima County resident. I'm glad all the niceties are done and your senator friend is gone, so she doesn't have to listen to me, obviously. I'm here to let you know that I've been coming down here to these meetings and to the city for the last 7 years. I listen to local talk radio all day long. That's why I know what I know. Not to mention my friends and the informers inside the city and county government that snitch on y'all for being corrupt. Now, last Friday, I was listening to Bill Buckmaster, And he is the greatest little friend of yours, isn't he? Because any day that you listen to his show, you can hear your local, city, and county propaganda ministers. Last Friday was Chuck Huckleberry's turn, where he essentially mocked the citizens of Pima County. He wants to blame the old people here, the state there, scratching for George Bush in there. Point being is, no, it didn't pass because that was a bond for your friend. And we know it. We can't help it, but the city's going through a constitutional crisis with their voting now. I just hope and pray that the next elections for County Board of Supervisors, we can eliminate Ford, and then we can fire Chuck Huckleberry. The man who put together, along with his friends, $1.5 billion when it was done, bond package to bankrupt Pima County. Now, Chuck, you appear to be about 70-odd years old, baby. You would have been dead and buried, long gone, before the crash happened. Maybe that's why we didn't vote yes on it. Because we knew better. Because you don't. Because for the length of your term, I don't see a higher percentage of good than I see of evil. It's not your money, plain and simple. As Ray smirks. Man, I hope we can get rid of you. Have a nice day. Now I'm done sharing.
Jerry Ottoboni.
Madam Chairman and Board of Supervisors, my name is Jerry Ottoboni, and I live in Oro Valley. Well, I thought last week's comments about the defeat of the $1,815 million bond were very interesting. This was not a close race. The majority of the voters, over 60%, over 60%, in some cases educated themselves and voted on the bonds, voted no on the bonds. Perhaps it was due to the fact that the earlier bond money in some cases was not spent as advertised, according to Andrea Kelly's article in the Arizona Daily Star. I did find it interesting that Mrs. Levy stated that the bonds would cost $17 a year. She apparently did not read the little booklet that Pima County sent to the voters. That stated on page 9 a different, much higher amount than was mentioned. Then Mr. Barney of the Tucson Metropolitan Chamber stated no, and the bond people had some wrong information, even though the information was gleaned on the Pima County website. Perhaps he should have read it also. Operation and maintenance was not included, and a slight difference in interest. Mr. Larry Hecker, who is the co-chairman of the Yes on the bonds, didn't bother to mention, which was reported September 30th on the ADI, that his son Alexander was a statutory agent for BIOSA. Now, this is the bond is a bioindustry organization of Southern Arizona. I believe this would be a conflict of interest because Mr. Hecker is chairman of the Bond Advisory Committee, co-chairman of the Yes on the Bonds Committee, and his son Alexander Hecker is a statutory agent for BIOSA, which would have managed the Oro Valley Accelerator using $15 million from the bond. On Arizona Illustrated on Sunday night, Tim Stellert of the Arizona Daily Star's comments were interesting. He stated that many of the no voters did not trust Pima County government. The no voters said enough is enough, especially when you three supervisors and sometimes Mr. Carroll and Mr. Huckleberry, who makes $320,000 plus benefits, which is the second highest paid in the United States, have raised, also too for the fifth poorest city, have raised taxes again and again and again, and that are expected, and they're expected to live within their means. Why can't you, without continually raising your budget, live within your means? Thank you.
Richard Hernandez.
Good morning, Pima County. I'm Richard Hernandez. At the last board meeting, I saw a dozen or so folks from the northwest side over by the mall up in that area, who had some concerns. One lady said to you, "Tell me what to do." Maybe you don't remember that, but I did. I was really disappointed that I didn't see the leadership of this committee come to her aid. While I know it's inappropriate for you to talk to us during the call of the audience, it is not inappropriate for you to direct your employee, Chuck Huckleberry, to do something. If you're not responsive to the people you represent, then what are you doing? I was under the impression by being an elected official, it's your job to represent the people, and you had a bunch of good folks, taxpayers that were here that asked for your help. No one listened. The other thing I saw at the last board meeting I did not witness was a news piece that I saw Supervisor Ramon Valdez talk about the removal of the question if you're a felon or if you've been arrested. I'm not really sure what the question was, but when I saw that, it was a second of relief. That's a good thing. But then I'm going to ask Supervisor Valdez, is that just something you say in election time? Or is that something you honestly believe? Can we get past errors of 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, or 20 years ago? What we're talking about is integrity. Do you stand for what you say? It's not too late, Pima County Board. The election's still 11 months away. Those people up on the north side who live a long ways from my home, they deserve some response. Why is it this board doesn't direct its administrator to take his county paid car and his large salary and get his behind out there and talk to the people? The homeless people are also part of Pima County. We need to talk to them too. A responsible government is about listening to its people. That's what this board is supposed to be doing. It's time to not lead by word, by example. That's why I'm here. Again, it's Thanksgiving time, and if you're blessed to have excess, please share with someone else. And if you need a meal, you're welcome to my house. My mom's old school. She believes that if you give something to someone else, you get it back tenfold. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody. And we're watching you, Pima County Board, all of you. Show us, don't tell us that you're leaders. Those people up there on the north side, they need you. They're asking for your help. Help them. Thank you.
Dennis Curry.
Supervisor, Board, Mr. Huckleberry. The result of the 2015 bond package was a disappointment on several fronts. I empathize with those volunteers who spent countless hours assembling the bond package and then lobbying for it. However, if we just focus on the roads, we have a 1997 $350 million bond package with approximately $80 million left to spend and a debt to service until the year 2024. The advertised repayment has gone from a $17 million to a $19 million a year amount. Now in 2015, we were asking for $200 million more to repair our roads. Clearly, the elephant in the financial equation is the 1997 bond initiative and the questions that swirl around its implementation. So the question, how has our HERF money been spent? First, I admit a lot of excellent work has been accomplished. However, it was a June 2006 Star article that piqued my interest, where Pima County was on record as saying that only lawmakers or courts can influence how it spends gas tax money. Pima County Administrator Chuck Huckleberry was to have said the county will continue to spend state road money on transit and other non-road uses unless the legislature or the courts make it stop. And the State Auditor General's office said there was nothing they could do about it, despite citing Pima County for misuse of those funds for the third year in a row. An audit of the county for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2005 found the county improperly spent $5 million of state highway user revenue funds and vehicle license tax money, and 2 previous years' audits identified another $9.7 million. The audit report said that the county should repay the money by putting general fund money into road projects. State law says the county's future tax allocations could be docked if it doesn't comply. But Huckleberry said he wasn't worried and said we just don't agree. However, fast forward to 2015 update of the Roads to Recovery, facts about transportation funding and spending. It shows that the Board of Supervisors voted to transfer $5 million from the general fund. So the question on the table is, are we still reallocating HERF money to other projects at the expense of our roads? Or have we stopped and are now paying back those funds in 2015? The other concern of this raises is that if the county is continually finding itself in court, defending itself against willful or negligent actions in regards to its budgetary practices, it becomes a burden of the taxpayers to fund this legal defense. What good could that money have been used for?
Thank you. Marty Wigger? Weiger?
Close.
Neither.
On all of them.
Okay. Is it Marty at least?
It's actually Martin.
Okay.
It's Wire, thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to thank the board for this opportunity to address you regarding a matter that's important to the homeowners in Star Valley. For several months, members of the Star Valley community have attended these sessions to solicit the assistance in resolving the release of currently approved plots in Star Valley. We have not heard anything as a result of our efforts to raise awareness that Star Valley is an important asset not only to the southwest corridor, but to Pima County as well. Through your leadership, two key documents were developed, the Star Valley Specific Plan and the Southwest Infrastructure Plan. These documents describe our community perfectly. This morning, I'm here once again to convince you that Star Valley meets these criteria and should be allowed to develop as planned. The need to continue resisting releasing the approved plat for Block 4, which will provide 572 new homes, is not only perplexing, but is certainly not in Star Valley's best interest. If this one block is allowed to go forward, it will provide living wage construction jobs and an estimated $1 million increase in the annual tax base for Pima County. Once Star Valley is completed, with over 6,000 homes, the tax base is estimated to increase over $12 million. And this doesn't even consider the commercial aspects of the development with its potential increases to the tax base and the job creation that is needed in our area. I respectfully ask once again for your immediate action on this very important issue for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Sherry Downer?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chief Robinson, Administrator Huckleberry, Supervisors. Thank you for this opportunity, and I apologize for my voice. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Sherry Downer. I am a resident of Pima County. I've been here for about 20 years and part of Southern Arizona for much longer than that. I'm also a business owner here in the city of Tucson, a member of the chair of the Tucson Metro Chamber Board of Directors. And although, unfortunately, the bond questions failed to pass at the last election, as I'm sure you all know, we still have urgent needs in our community that need to be addressed. And so I want to urge you today to work quickly on an alternative plan, a plan B that addresses those urgent needs like transportation, our roads, the Sonoran corridor, all of those things that we need to invest in our future to help develop it and to attract and retain businesses. I also want to urge you to continue to support our local businesses and institutions that make our community what it is. The University of Arizona, Raytheon, those are all things that without those businesses and institutions, we would be in a very much different place. So I urge you to continue to take action and do so quickly, to not wait to address the infrastructure needs of things like the Sonoran corridor. Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to the conclusion.